When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
No one goes to Hank's for spreadsheets. They go for a darn good pizza. Lately, though, the shop's been quiet, so Hank decides to bring back the $1 slice. He asks Copilot in Microsoft Excel to look at his sales and costs and help him see if he can afford it. Copilot shows Hank where the money's going and which little extras make the dollar slice work. Now Hank has a line out the door. Hank makes the pizza, Copilot handles the spreadsheets. Learn more at m365copilot.com/work.
Episode 278, AI for Finding Better Insurance Deals in 2026 Good Day. I'm your host, Robin, and today I want to talk about insurance, a subject that most people find genuinely uninspiring right up until the moment they actually need it, at which point they discover that the policy they barely read and probably overpaid for does not cover quite what they needed it to cover, or that the excess is larger than they remembered, or that a claim they believed was straightforward is being disputed in a way they did not anticipate. Insurance is one of the categories of household spending where the complexity is deliberately high. The comparison is genuinely difficult because policies are structured in ways that resist direct comparison, and the financial reward for staying with your existing provider for the provider is substantial. In 2026, AI tools have made navigating this landscape meaningfully more manageable, and the savings available to people who engage with these tools seriously are often significant. Imagine your home and contents insurance is due for renewal. The letter arrives, or the email notification appears, and the renewal premium is higher than last year, as it almost always is. You know, you should probably shop around. The vague intention to do so has existed in you for the past 3 renewal cycles. But the comparison sites require entering the same information repeatedly, and then you have to try to compare policies that are structured differently enough that you are not sure you are actually comparing like with like. Is the accidental damage cover on this policy equivalent to the accidental damage cover on that one? Does this policy's contents cover include high-value items like your bicycle and your laptop at the amounts you actually need, or just up to a limit that is lower than their replacement value? Most people, confronted with this complexity at a moment when they have other things to do, renew without checking. This is precisely what insurance companies rely on. And it is profitable for them because the premium almost always increases year on year, while the risk profile of the customer may not have changed at all. AI-powered insurance comparison has improved substantially beyond the basic price comparison that has existed online for many years. The newer generation of tools does not simply return a ranked list of premiums. It analyzes what is actually covered within each policy and highlights the meaningful differences in plain language. An AI comparison tool might tell you that the cheapest quote on your home insurance has a structural subsidence exclusion that the second cheapest policy does not have, and given that your property is on clay soil, that information is relevant. It might tell you that one policy covers replacement locks if your keys are stolen, while another only covers the locks themselves and not the cost of changing them. It might note that your bicycle is only covered away from the home up to a certain value, and that if it is worth more than that, you need either an extension or a separate policy. These distinctions matter when you are making a claim, and they are almost impossible to identify through manual comparison of policy documents that run to dozens of pages each. AI makes those distinctions visible at the comparison stage rather than at the claim stage, which is a fundamentally better moment to know. For more complex insurance products, life insurance, income protection, critical illness cover, business insurance, AI tools provide a different, but equally important kind of assistance, helping you understand what level and type of cover is actually appropriate for your situation before you begin comparing prices. Most people buy these products with very limited understanding of what they are actually purchasing. The difference between a level term life insurance policy and a decreasing term policy, or between own occupation income protection and any occupation income protection, has consequences that are significant, but that most buyers could not explain. AI can explain these distinctions clearly and help you understand which product type is right for your circumstances, whether that is based on the age of your children, your mortgage structure, your employment type, or your existing savings, before you start comparing specific policies. This is genuinely useful preparation even if you then go on to work with a financial advisor for the final decision, because arriving at that conversation with a clear understanding of what you need makes the advice you receive more relevant and the decision more confident. Renewal monitoring is an area where AI assistance removes a significant source of unnecessary overspending. The automatic renewal trap, where your policy renews at a higher price on a date that you have completely forgotten about because the reminder arrived when you were busy and went unread, is something that costs consumers substantial amounts of money every year in aggregate. AI tools that track your insurance renewal dates send you a prompt several weeks in advance with enough lead time to actually shop around and monitor market pricing so that they can tell you whether your renewal quote is above or below what the current market would offer for equivalent cover. Address this problem directly. The prompt arrives when there is still time to act, rather than after the fact when the premium has already been charged. Claim support is another dimension that most people do not think about when choosing insurance, but that becomes very important when they need it. Understanding what your policy actually covers before you submit a claim, and therefore whether it is worth claiming or whether claiming will affect your no-claims discount in a way that costs you more over the next 3 years than the claim itself would recover, is a kind of calculation that most people cannot do quickly without help. AI can help you understand your policy, estimate the impact of a claim on your future premiums, and decide whether claiming makes financial sense in your specific situation. It can also help you understand what documentation you need to submit a claim successfully and what the process should look like, so that you are not navigating an unfamiliar process at a moment when you are already stressed. The honest thing I want to say is this: the cheapest insurance policy is not always the best one, and reducing cover to reduce premium is a trade-off that needs to be understood clearly before it is made. AI makes that trade-off visible and explicit, which is the most important thing. An informed decision to accept a higher excess or a reduced cover level in exchange for a lower premium is a perfectly reasonable choice. An uninformed one is just an unpleasant surprise waiting to happen. Next time, we'll talk about how AI can help you improve your smartphone battery life, because that small anxiety about whether the phone will last the day is more solvable than most people realize. Have a wonderful day.